hope you're well. It is currently the 16th of February. It was David Dog's birthday yesterday. I'm up here doing a bit more fit out. Now, I've done quite a bit of fit out over the last weeks, but I feel like I'm so busy all day long. I've done a lot of work, turn around and look at what's actually there, and it doesn't look like I've done a great deal. Thing is, I'm doing lots of wood cutting, and I'm taking home the pane and put it back up. And it's taking a long time trying to get. Oh, there's a train. It takes quite a long time trying to get it cut to the right shape and then fit it in. That I look back to see what I've actually completed. It doesn't look like a massive amount, but I've been doing some filming while I've been doing it. So I'm going to put a little compilation together now, and then at the end of that compilation, I'll show where I've actually got to and what it looks like with all the individual bits done. Looks real slow progress, but I've got a certain amount of things I want to do before May, when I want to be going out on the boat, and that is get some water running in the bathroom, get the bathroom walls up, and also get all the lights working. If I can get that far or further, I'll be a happy man. First off, I managed to negotiate with the marina to be able to move the boat. The boat is quite a long way away from the car. As you can see, the car's all the way over there. And so it's a long way to move all materials. Not only that, the smaller jetties here don't have individual power sockets, so they have a bank of them just there for all of them, and so I'm having to connect two extension reels together to get all the way to the boat, which is a bit of a pain in the bum if I'm honest with you. The boat, as you can see, is all over there. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to be moving it to just here, parked next to this boat, so I'll be a lot closer to bring materials, be a lot closer for putting in the electrics, and a lot closer if I want to do some big wood cutting right over there. So I'm going to do this morning, and then I'll show you some other bits and bobs. So I've taken that horrible temporary bulkhead off and replaced it with some panels that actually fit properly. I've taken them home, painted them, and put a frame around it so I could eventually put some insulation behind and then put another panel in the front, which will hopefully stop the noise from the boat but also the smells. But back on to today's work. So this nice big piece of wood here that I've cut to shape and taken home to prime and brought back in is going to be going right over there, which is going to be one of the walls for the bathroom where the toilet's going to be. Now, to fix it, I didn't want to use battening, and I didn't want to use a stud wall. Now, the reason I didn't want to use a stud wall is because this base here, actually comes off here, is very, very small. So there's not an awful lot of space here. So what I'm going to do is I just want to use a single sheet of 18mm ply. Now, I didn't want to have battening around the edges because it would have looked ugly, and ultimately it's going to be the bathroom, and I want it to look nice. So done a bit of research, and I found something called a pocket hole jig, which essentially is this item here. Now this goes on the edge, which I'll show you in just a moment. On the edge here, it allows me to drill through that hole, which will then have another hole stick out there, and a little way for me to actually put the screw in so it's hidden. The kit comes with this, which is a square end drive, so I can use the drill to do up the screws. It comes with a special drill bit here, so it's got the bit at the top there to drill all the way through, that bit at the top there, but that will only drill down to a certain way, so there's something for the screws to butt up against. The kit also comes with some of these screws, which are special screws for a pocket hole jig, and also some of these that you put in afterwards and sand down so you can't see the hole. Now, this kit is made by Triton. I've done some dummy tests and it works really, really well. Now, to hold it in place, I've also bought myself a clamp. Now, two of these clamps cost me about £6. And the good thing about this pocket hole jig is, if you can see that bit just there, it's magnetic. So when I'm trying to secure it down, it cannot move. It works really, really well. Also, it's got this bit here, so I can slide in and out depending on how thick the actual wood is. So it's a really good bit of kit that I brought. I'm going to put 3 along the bottom, 3 along the top, and then secure it down that way. That way they'll be hidden. I won't be taking up extra space with a stud wall, and ultimately, hopefully, fingers crossed, never used it before, it will be nice and sturdy. So let me show you it in use. Now at this point, while I was trying to show you a demonstration, I had a small accident. I was wearing my goggles, as I always do, but when I'd finished drilling the perfect hole, I blew away the dust, and the dust ricocheted off that orange jacket and went into my eye. Now, I tried to persevere and carry on as long as I possibly could after washing out my eye with some eye wash, but my eye slowly closed up and I couldn't even open my eye. So I had to go to the hospital. Thankfully, all I'd done was scratch my eye, and they managed to sort it out, and with the eye numbed, I was able to drive home relatively with good vision, and had to call it a day. But let me show you what I'd done before I went home. So the wall's up, making an actual bathroom area. not secured in place yet, they're all just cut, ready to go. I had to do a new bit of flooring here as well. When I pulled it up to check the ballast before I put the new walls down, I found it absolutely trashed underneath there. So yet another thing that the previous owner done as a bodge. So I've had to scrape all that back, and I'm going to repaint it in a few moments before I go home, let it dry over the next week or so. The wood was also rotten underneath, so I've replaced the actual bit as well. This it also needs to go home so I can put some yacht varnish over it to protect it. But I am amazed how different that looks. So we've got a doorway here. I made it quite narrow. I don't really know what size narrowboat doors normally are, but I wanted to have plenty of space this side. So when I put the shower in, there's plenty of space. But I also want enough space this side so that a good sink could go. But it makes such a big difference having those walls in place. It almost looks like a proper narrowboat. But obviously this side over here will have the kitchen. I won't have that in until probably end of this year, because I want to be using it over the summer period. So I'm going to put a makeshift kitchen in. I can get rid of my camping kitchen because we're going camping in the summer, so I need that at home. But I'll build something there at some point, no doubt. A cold one this morning. A little bit of snow on the ground. Just about to walk up there and see if it's frozen, because I ideally want to move the boat close to the car, because I've got an awful lot of wood to move about. And I've forgotten my trolley as well, so fingers crossed. What a beautiful morning. Okay, I've been a busy bee this weekend. As you can see, I got this wall permanently in place now, can't be moved. Put a nice bit of trim on there as well to hide the edge. Moved the fridge over here. It's just a temporary location because the fire will be moving there, and that'll be all tiled and everything. But that's going to have to wait till we replace the roof, because I'm not going to move it until we're doing the roof, because otherwise I have a hole. I'll put a kitchen in. Again, it is semi-temporary. I'm going to be using these kitchen cupboards, but when I move the fire over, I'm going to add the fridge in here. So it will come to around about here, and then I'll put a proper worktop on. This is just a bit of shelving for now, just to make it look nice for this year. This won't happen until towards the end of after the summer, really. So fridge is in, kitchen's in. Made a cupboard as well for all the electrics, which will do everything I need. Better fit in there. There'll be a door on there. Run some loose wiring as well, just to see if the lights work for the bathroom. So the lights are in, switch, and the lights come on. So quite bright. Can't really see in this light, but it lights it up quite nicely. So busy weekend, but I'm pleased I got a lot of it done.